Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Good morning, I'm Storm Track 7 meteorologist Brandon Libby. We have a warm front that's going to be coming through today that will increase the clouds, so will become mostly cloudy. Also going to increase the winds from the south, so another windy day for today. Not much rain, but there will be a slight chance as we go through tonight, anywhere from about 9 p.m. to, we'll say, 2 a.m. Just getting clipped by a little bit of light rain, especially in our eastern and southern counties. You can see how quickly it works its way out. This is midnight here. Much better shot for rain as you go towards the Quad Cities and off into Illinois. Otherwise, the cold front will come by. It'll set us up for a partly cloudy day tomorrow. Yet again, another windy one, but it's actually a secondary cold front that will come by through the middle of the day tomorrow. It could give us some clouds, but that's when the cold temperatures start to arrive. Our temperatures will fall throughout tomorrow afternoon. So when we look at today, mid to upper 50s, some low 60s in the south, but the winds will gust to 30 miles per hour from the south today. And then tonight, we'll call it a 30% chance for rain in the southeast. Lows will be in the low to mid 40s, pretty mild. Tomorrow still in the 60s, so pretty warm, but again, those highs will come roughly the late morning or around noon, and then you'll start to see temperatures slipping down through the rest of the day. And that sets us up for the really cold weekend. 43, the high on Saturday, down to 35 on Sunday as we just get some really blustery north winds. And also a 70% chance for that rain-snow mix on Saturday. So let's take a look at it here. It's going to be a clipper system coming in, and it does look to take this track kind of across Nebraska into northern Missouri. That puts us on the cold side of the system, and also the side of the system that has the most moisture. And so then it becomes a question on precipitation types. I think we start with rain, kind of a really cold, chilly rain throughout Saturday morning into the early afternoon, but then a transition to maybe a wintry mix or even just some big, fat, wet snowflakes that will come down through the later part of the day. We'll see that through the evening. And with these clipper systems, they move through pretty quickly, so the moisture will shut off about midnight early Sunday morning. Then it's just going to be really windy and cold heading into the day on Sunday. Still a lot of question marks, though. The exact track of the low, again, it seems to be shifting a little bit further to the south, but it's been wobbling a little bit, and that will put who sees the measurable snowfall, that will shift around depending on the track. Also, the timing of the temperatures, because we are dealing with above freezing temperatures, and when it times out with the moisture, that will have a huge impact on how much snow we do see. Of course, with the precipitation type and the warm ground, some of that will be melting on contact, so it's going to be tough to even measure in the first place. So all that kind of going into it, still very uncertain as to how much we see, but this is what I'm expecting right now. This is certainly subject to change. Most confident that we'll see the coldest air of the season for this weekend into early next week. Accumulation-wise, maybe an inch or less, mainly on the grass, and especially between about Highway 18 and I-80, just with how things are tracking right now. Again, that may shift up and down a little bit, but also a flash freeze potential for Saturday night. As we're going to have a lot of moisture on the roads, temperatures will drop to the low 20s, and that could result in some refreezing, especially on bridges and overpasses and any untreated roads. So we're going to have to watch out for that into Sunday morning. And then, of course, the wind chills on top of all this. They'll be in the 30s throughout the day on Saturday. As we go through Saturday night, dropping down into the teens and low 20s. But then Sunday, they're just going to stay in the low to mid 20s. That's the warmest that we get. And then as we prepare for next week, heading into Monday morning, we're talking anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees for the wind chill. So that is by far the coldest we've seen with the temperatures and the wind chills both. But as we kind of recap here, next 3 days, it's going to be mild today and Friday, and then Saturday is when things really start to cool on down. 70% chance for the rain-snow mix. We do look dry after that, and will warm pretty quickly through next week as temperatures push back to 50 by Veterans Day.